Let's take a look at how severe the damage is. Starting off with the Banshee. Large laser LRM-10 and 3 heat sinks. It's actually not as bad as it could have been. It's possible there's nothing in the arms of a Banshee. I think that's actually correct. So, yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to ignore the repair of the Banshee right now. I'm going to go ahead and you know what? I'm probably going to just jump over to an industrial zone. That went badly enough that I think there's a call for it. These two are equal distance. I'm going to go to Port Arthur because it kind of gets us close to where we want to go anyway. So, yeah, let's just travel. We have some pretty extensive repairs to do, and I'm probably just going to completely rebuild the... Well, not completely, but I'm going to rebuild that Cyclops because I feel like it's not performing. So we need to make it perform. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It depends on how much it can even take. I feel like we should at least give it that attempt before we just straight up sell it.
My combat skills are meant to impress, sir.
Sloan here might be worth picking up.
My combat skills are meant to impress, sir.
All right, let's see who we have on our list here. I think we're probably going to fire Meyer here. I know we have Shen and Freeman. You know what? Let's not worry about sentimentality. Shen, goodbye. I mean, we have this description here that is, you know, tailored for that mission, but, you know, you're not getting used. How about you go somewhere else where you're actually being paid? Well, to do something rather than just sit around. So, goodbye.
My combat skills are meant to impress.
But we will pick up Sloan here because Sloan's pretty good. She does have 3 points down, but her only real weak points are evasion and missiles. So, I'm sorry, not missiles, ballistic weapons. So, let's read description. No one is truly sure where Captain Sloan hails from, as no official records have ever been found. She has spent years upon years fine-tuning her skills as pilot. She believes that she can be truly elite pilot if she continues to fight against the most dangerous opponents. All right, well, you might get that opportunity.
You put something in my sights, I'm taking it down.
All right. Let's take a look at the market. So we already saw that there's not really any interesting mechs here, but we'll see about equipment. Oh, no. High quality PPC, that probably is worth picking up. Even though it is expensive. Ammo, no double heat sinks. Okay, that's it. Get our repairs on. So this is fairly simple. You're gonna get rebuilt. Banshee needs extensive repairs, but should be not too bad. Yeah, see, why I was considering taking on the medium lasers is because I was worried I was going to lose a lot of medium lasers, because it looked like the left and right torso were pretty rough. Large lasers gone, but we should have replacements, although I don't think I'm that strong in that regard. We got 4 replacements. We do have some really good high-quality large lasers, but I'm not putting that high quality of a large laser in an arm that's just going to get chopped off. Especially as this does not have very good protection in that arm. Maybe I should have upped that armor. Maybe that's an oversight on my part that I didn't. Because it's not very well protected in that arm. Alright, let's get the other stuff repaired here. So, we have an LRM-10 to replace. This is a high quality LRM-10. I maybe have replacements. I wish these were sorted in a more logical fashion. Sometimes. But, yeah, it looks like we're going to have to downgrade the quality. They don't have... Well, let me... whoa. Market. Let me just take a look at the market real. Yeah, we're going to have to downgrade it. That's unfortunate, but... is what it is, and then we just need 3 heat sinks. Should be easy enough. Okay. We do lose a little bit of range and a little bit of damage output, and in theory we generate more heat. Is what it is. There's not really a whole lot I could do about that. You know what I'm gonna do? Do we downgrade the AC-10 to a UAC-5 or maybe just a straight up normal AC-5 to get some tonnage back? And then use that to up armor, because we are lacking in armor on a number of places on this mech. Highest quality AC-5, unfortunately, is quality level 3, so we would not only reduce the damage output, we would reduce the quality, you know, decently enough. I think it makes sense, because I don't want this thing to lose arms as frequently as it does. It will lose a little bit of damage output, but I think in the end, it's the right call. We're going to have to remove the ammo. We might not even need 2 tons of ammo. How many shots do you get? 80 rounds? That might be good enough. As is. I'll have to think about it, but we have 5 tons to work with. I don't know if we're going to need all of that tonnage, so I might use the second ton of ammo just for the sake of it. But the arms definitely need maxed out, especially the one that has the large laser. That is a no-brainer right there, because we don't want to lose that system over and over and over again, because that will happen. We also should up armor the legs, because those, you know, we don't want to lose our maybe 65, 66. Like that. So we have 4 tons left over. I guess I'll grab another ton of AC-5 ammo. I probably have room for another ton of ammo, and then we could just slap some heat sinks in this bastard. All right. So 75. I want to up the armor and the head a little bit. This armor isn't as important because there's not anything in it. Okay, that'll do. So we up armored it pretty significantly, and we downgraded its firepower, but I think it would be better off for it. 61 days, well, it's going to take a long time. Oh well. Okay, now the Cyclops, which definitely I think needs reworked. I can't see those kind of damage numbers. That's just terrible. I feel like the LRMs work better if it's like a backup weapon, or like it's like if I had just one LRM-10, I think it would probably be okay. But 2 doesn't work out. The problem that we have, though, is I'm going to drop weight significantly unless I replace it with something. All right, so we'll drop that LRM-10, let's say. Actually, I want to do it the other way around. Hold on, I'm just going to redo it. Oop. Sorry, I had to mute there for a second to sneeze. Is there not a point to be made to replace the LRMs for SRMs in a mix you don't pilot yourself? Well, I think it still works out in the end. I think that the AI uses the SRMs more effectively than they do use LRMs. So, we do have this one high-quality SRM-6. I'm not sure if we use it in this mech, especially as we're not certain of it, so I'm going to use the quality 3 instead. Which means that I downgraded the Banshee for no reason, but I guess if we have to repair it for some other reason, we'll try and remember. We'll downgrade the ammo with the LRMs, but increase the SRM ammo. Looks like I am kind of running lower on SRM ammo. We get 2 tons back. I don't know what I'm going to do with this tonnage because this thing's almost maxed out on armor. I might be able to put a ton in. I'm not sure. A ton is 32 points in this game. So I have 4 points here. I've got 10 points up there. Then I've got, yeah, it looks like 26 points would do it. Well, that's not a full ton though. Yeah. I could upgrade the medium laser to a medium pulse, so we do have one of those. They do weigh more, so it would take up more tonnage. And I think a mech that I don't use myself, it does make sense to use a medium pulse laser. So I'll go ahead and do so. So now we only have 1 ton to work with. And that should increase the damage output slightly. I mean, we do see that here. Okay. I could do a half a ton of ammo of something. I don't know how necessary that would be. And then do a half a ton of armor. Okay, I'll do that. Let's get a little bit more armor in the rear there, than some in the front. We'll max out the legs. Oh, that already puts us at that. Okay. I want to back off the legs slightly. Oops. And we'll put the rest into the head. There we go. Okay, so half a ton, so we'll just do a half ton amount of ammo, like an SRM, a half ton. And I'll put that here, because I don't really have anywhere else to put it. Okay, now that'll do, I guess. So we technically increased damage output. It still has an LRM. So it does have a little bit of a long-range poke, but it's just that. It's not going to be as much emphasis on that. But you have to do the weapon groups. You just move that over, and we turn that off chain because there's nothing to chain, and we put this on chain. Okay, that looks good to me. I don't know if this is going to be more effective or not, but in theory, potentially it will be. Okay. It may run hot, is the main problem. The medium pulse laser definitely is more heat generating than a normal laser. Alternatively, we just put that medium laser back and we give it another heat sink. Because it actually may need it. Guys, this is not a lot of heat sinking. You know what? I'm too worried about that. Medium pulse lasers are very heat generating. And we'll do a heat sink. Because I'm kind of worried about... I'm going to put it here just to try and protect the ammo. Alright, that should do. I mean, it's still an increase in damage output in theory. Okay. Hopefully it works out. Alright. I'm just going to have to remember at some point I want to replace that Banshee's LRM-10, but we'll do it another time. I don't want to have to redo all the work I did, so... Okay. So we're looking at 61 days with that Banshee being the longest of repair time, but there was a lot of stuff we switched around, and there was a lot of repairs to do, so I'm not too surprised with that. We already checked the market, right? Okay. No, as far as I can tell, it's the same. Like if we look at this mech, all they're giving you is the cooling in heat per second, and then the weapons are listing you heat per shots, and then you get rounds per minute, so as many how many times it fires per minute. So you have to do the math yourself, and then you have to figure out what heat, if you fired your weapons constantly, how much heat you would generate a second. So you have to do very complicated math to figure out where your heat's at. So I just kind of eyeball it and give it my best guess, but I really don't know until I actually play. And you can't even really honestly just use knowledge from other Battletech things, like, for example, the Battletech video game or the Battletech tabletop game. You can't really use that knowledge because there's definitely differences between the way this game works and the way that those other games work. Where you can't give it... You can get a ballpark of how a mech should perform, but you can't really make any certainties with that other information. Oops. All right, let's go ahead and... That takes 34 days to get there. Is there nothing else in this? I mean, you'd think I'm close enough to see something in this system. I guess we just jump straight there. What the hell? If it's not what we want, well... I guess we'll live with it because we still have however many days before the Banshee comes back. Okay. Let's take a look at the star map now. Ah, there we go. Now we have the information that we were looking for. Okay. Pirate Hunt. Many residents in the military district pay only lip service to House Kurita and the loyal services of the DCMS regiments drawn from their population remains likewise questionable. While the troops in this region follow orders, there are rogue elements within the district, and some have allowed their disloyal natures to corrupt their better selves. I saw Lucas Ranta, formerly from the 1st Alton Market Militia, is one such fallen soul. When even his general could not curtail his outspoken anti-Kurita attitudes, the Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery was forced to step in. By the way, this place, Russell Hague, I think is how you pronounce it, this does get its independence at some point. I don't know exactly what year. I think it's in the 3030s. It gets its independence. Okay, anyway, where were we? Instead of accepting his punishment, he led a portion of his loyal soldiers into the outer reaches of the Combine, embracing a life of piracy. Such a show of disloyalty by a high-ranking Combine warrior and hailing from a unit intended to curtail rebellious activities is not only embarrassing to the DCMS, but if the traitor is not put down with prejudice, this situation could shatter the already weakening faith the people in this region have in the Coordinator. These deserters must be hunted down, not only to stop their activities, but to dissuade the Russell Hagians, again, I'm just making a best guess on how you pronounce that, from a similar path. Be aware that Ranta himself might be difficult to confront at first. However, if you strip the protection his sub-commanders provide, you will have little choice but to face you on the battlefield himself. Your first target involves the liberation of a farming community Ranta's pirates have occupied. Their lack of honor may force them to use the locals as human shields, or they might raise farmland to distract you from your objectives. Destroy any bandits you find in the area, but keep casualties among the peasantry to a minimum, and preserve as much agriculture property as possible. Even peasants serve an important function for the dragon. I like the fact that we're even calling them peasants. Alright, we'll go ahead and accept. Let's see where we have to be and what the mission is. So it's an assassination contract. It sounds like this is going to be a series of assassination contracts. Okay. Oh boy. Difficulty 95. I don't know if I want to do this. I have to think about this. I mean, we do have a full-on release of drop weight We have to keep in mind the Banshee's in the shop. We are unsure of the Cyclops. Highlander has proved okay. But these are our heaviest mechs, if we are going to go as heavy as we can. I only have 5 negotiation points, which is kind of a problem. And we're probably going to have to do multiple of these contracts at roughly about this difficulty. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. Alright, we're back. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this contract. I do not have faith this is going to go well, but we're going to give it a try. I am thinking about putting all of my points into damage coverage, but I'm just going to put 4 in, and then we'll put 1 into salvage shares, just so we have some ability to get maybe 1 or 2 decent weapon systems if they are available. We don't necessarily have to... Well, I think once we sign our name on the line, we have to do it. The Banshee is a long ways away, so that is not going to be available. I think we're going to put the best we can summon here forward. So the Atlas is going to come up. I'm not sure if we should use the Cyclops. It's unproven. Although I have made modifications in theory to make it better, I don't know if it's the mech we want to go with. So in that regard, I think we should replace the Cyclops with the Highlander, which I believe is available if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so Highlander and Stalker. Now, I don't know if you stick with the Stalker. The Awesome has proved to be a very capable mech for us, even though in theory it doesn't have the highest amount of firepower and stuff. But honestly, I think it does perform very well. The Stalker, though, has also proved to be a very good for us as well. Now, I am nervous about risking the Atlas, because if it takes severe damage, it has a lot of weapon systems in it that it's pretty much impossible for us to replace. And this is also a mech that I use myself. So I hate to give this to the AI and have them get it destroyed, because they like to do that. But in any case, what we need to do here is get the best pilots we can involved. And I just have to figure out what that is. As far as ballistic weapons go, the one that's probably the most important would be the Highlander. Definitely Hutchinson should be in the Stalker, because ballistic weapons don't matter and he's pretty good everywhere else. So Hutchinson should definitely come over to the Stalker. I just don't know what other mechs, what other pilots we use here. So I'm definitely going to grab Hutchinson and move him over. Okay, so now the question is, can we improve in some other regard? Because Gan has a high ballistic weapon skill. Unfortunately, most of these pilots, most of these mechs, the ballistic weapon doesn't really matter as much. It's the other weapon systems that are more important. And he's weaker in the other places. The Atlas, again, it's kind of like, really, you need to be good at all 3 weapon types. I'm not sure which pilot that would be, though. Alright, well, let's take a look. Juarez is pretty much most definitely a no. Sloan would be an upgrade in energy weapons at a sacrifice of just about everything else. And then Covington is the best at energy weapons, but it's kind of weaker in most other things, which is kind of a downside or a detriment. I think that Sloan makes a lot of sense in the Highlander, because you're not much worse in missiles, but you're much better in energy weapons. Although, that being said, what are the energy weapons? It's only 2 medium lasers, so that really doesn't matter. It's really the missiles that matter the most. Well, we don't have anybody better than an 8. So, I guess Gan's fine where he is. So now the question is Sheffield worth replacing? Sheffield's pretty good across the board. I honestly think we just stick with him, because that's kind of what we need in the Atlas. Okay. I think that's where we're at. That's ready. I'm pretty nervous about this one, especially for the Atlas. But I don't know how this is going to go. This might be a complete catastrophe, and we don't even really go with this mission. But I'm going to try and do my best here.
Attention. Prepare for battle next departure. Warning. Hangar doors opening. Stand clear.
Okay, we're being attacked
Reactor
immediately. That's not a good
online.
sign.
Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Looks like we got some bad intel. Our target is not here. Let's hope we have better look at the other locations. We need to reveal the prime target, Taisa Ranta. But in order to do that, we must assassinate the pirate sub-commander, Shane Simitsu. He's nearby.
Dropship's in my way of doing anything right now.
When you find him.
So they dropped us, I think, on top of one of the objectives. Thankfully, there wasn't anything here. Now, I am hoping that they've rebalanced the missions, because it seems like they have. So the only reason I'm really even doing this is to see if that is true, to see if this is more reasonable than it used to be. Like, I have a feeling that this mission actually might be easier at the 95 difficulty than missions that used to be at the 70 difficulty of this mission type. Purely because they rebalanced it. I mean, right now, I'm not being absolutely swarmed by enemies, so that's a good sign. But we're going to take this nice and slow. Try and get up on top of this ridge so we can see what we're looking at. If we're lucky, we get the enemy right away. If not, that's fine.
Target acquired.
Might look pleasant out there, but watch for VTOLs in line of sight with the sun. Target eliminated.
Target destroyed.
Got him. Oh, there's stuff behind us. Okay, looks like they got it.
Target acquired.
Okay, looks like we're able to use our
Target
Enemy destroyed.
range to a certain extent here. Oh, something's hitting me that I can't see. I have no idea where it is. Just fire blindly. I mean, I do see vehicles off in the distance, but I've got no sensor locks.
Looks like we're at the wrong place, Commander. Our target must have given us the slip. Let's check out the other locations.
Target acquired.
Target is down.
Destroyed. Target destroyed.
Alright, that was a little overkill.
Target acquired.
Okay, we've got an Atlas coming in. Let's focus on that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell my allies. Oops.
Target received. Engaging.
Oh, shit. I'm a little worried here that my allies are moving up too far forward. Shit. I mean, we almost have the Atlas dead.
Is dead. That's one target closer to Ranta.
Okay.
Now let's get you all home. Head to the evac point.
Okay. My allies are getting hit in the rear, unfortunately. Come on, come on, come on, come on, guys. I kind of wish I could tell them to stand and fight while I try and retreat. Let's see, we'll try it. Rather than have them follow me,
Grid received.
we'll tell them to go there
Target acquired.
with the hope that they stand and fight and actually face the enemy where their armor is strongest while I try and get out.
At requested location.
Hopefully that's the right call and they don't do stupid stuff.
On mark at waypoint.
Because I'm worried if I had just had them follow me, what would have happened is they just get shot in the back, more or less. Now the Atlas is taking good damage, but I think it can handle that. That's the first time we tried something like that. Hopefully it was the right thing to do. Yeah, but that was a lot more achievable of a mission. Like, they made it a lot less ridiculous. Okay, so we have a high-quality medium laser. I'll go ahead and take that. None of this stuff, other stuff, I think is really worth it. So we have 2 more shares. We got to figure out what to take. Guess I'm just going to take the other medium laser. I mean, I don't see a reason to take any of this other stuff. Okay. Yeah, we didn't really take all that much damage. Atlas looks like it's fine, although it did take a decent amount of armor damage. It's fine. As far as damage output goes, very disappointing from the Stalker and the Highlander. But I think some of that is because I didn't really let them ever get close enough to really, I mean, especially the Stalker. The Stalker probably never got close enough to really use his weapons effectively. Probably should have put the Awesome into this fight rather than the Stalker, as I think it would have done better. The Atlas did really well, which I'm somewhat surprised of, but even I didn't really do all that much damage. This was a fairly quick mission. So I can't really judge this too much anyway, because how quickly this mission was over. So in some ways, the Atlas did really well, all things considered. Now, it took a lot of damage, all things considered, but... yeah, I think they have solved the main problem that I had with this game, which was just horrendous balance, and it's good to see. Oh yeah, that's right. We have to continue to communicate here. You're to be commended for your restraint when the cowardly pirates attempted to use peasants as shields. However, you allowed many of the traitors to escape justice. To rectify this oversight and remain in the good graces of the professional soldiery liaison, you must complete the job. Ranta's band of traitors have gone to ground on a world renowned for its storms. We'll need to follow them and fight through the terrifying weather. Ranta's second in command is known. I have a feeling this is a little bit of a typo. Is known believed? I'm gonna say. We're just gonna get rid of the known. Is believed to be in the area. Eliminate him and any of the deserters under his command, and the path to Ranta himself should be clear. Okay, so it sounds like just more assassination missions. Gotta love his pep talk on our performance. All right, I'll go ahead and just do the repairs here. Most of these should be fairly simple, as not a whole lot of damage was actually. I say that. I guess most of my comrades took pretty severe damage. Maybe that wasn't the right call. Maybe we should have jumped back, but all right, we got 20 days. What's the damage? All of them would be back except for the Atlas. So the Banshee would be back. So I guess we just replace the Atlas with the Banshee and we can just continue with the next mission. All right, I like it. Let's check the market real quick here, make sure we're not missing out on anything. I mean, I've never really found anything in one of these. I mean, except for maybe really early in the game when we were just desperate for mechs. We could probably sell some things. I just don't know what to sell, really. Probably Probably medium lasers, because we have an absolute ton of those. I don't know. We're fine. I mean, again, I could probably go through here and sell a whole bunch of things, but we're not really hurting for money, so I don't really have the compulsion to do so. Alright, let's continue. I guess there's an industrial zone not too far away in case we have to. This would probably be a 3-part mission, I expect. And I expect all 3 missions to be assassination contracts. But I will say that I am very pleased to see that they rectified the balance, because it does seem like that's the case. And what missions we've done so far, I know we don't have a large sample size, but in the 50 hours that I played this game before, probably plus that, I had a lot of sample size of the way the balance used to be, and they've definitely, I'm noticing a difference. Okay. Well, we've definitely improved our relationship finally. I'm going to continue to go pretty hard with damage coverage, and then the rest is just going to be salvage shares. Alright, the coward Ranta remains elusive, afraid to face the might of the dragon directly. His second-in-command, however, harbors no such qualms. Fight through the storms on this planet and permanently remove Ranta's trusted subcommander from the cabin of command. Or chain of command. Not sure where I got cabin there. Tear down anyone who stands in your way of this goal. Okay, so we're at, again, 95 difficulty. The Atlas is going to have to go because it's not ready to go. Banshee, I think we just replace immediately. Don't think there's a reason to sort our lineup. I think it makes perfect sense to keep it as is. Except there was an argument made about the Stalker. That maybe the Stalker should be replaced with the Awesome because of that long range engagement potential. And then I think we switch the Highlander and the Awesome. And then because we're using the Awesome, we might want to use different pilots. So Highlander, that one. Okay, so pilots. Definitely, probably Hutchison should go over into the Awesome, as he's probably our most skilled energy weapon pilot. The only other one that would be pretty decent, well, Covington's pretty good. Do we give Covington a try? I mean, it'd be good to give him other opportunities to level stuff up. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and slap Covington in here. And then, other than that, we should probably pull Hutchison for Gan. And then Sheffield, I think we just keep as is. The only real thing is the Banshee has a lot more energy weapon emphasis than anything else. So what's the pilot we have in here currently? Sheffield? Okay, so Sheffield. Yeah, you know what? I think we use Hutchison here. Hutchison's close to leveling up, it seems like. And it gives him some ability to get his ballistic weapons up. And the ballistic weapon isn't all that key, it's just an AC-5. But the vast majority of the firepower here is energy weapons, which Hutchison is very good with. So, yeah, I like this. Gives us some possibilities of leveling some people up, potentially. And we'll see, does the Awesome perform better than the Stalker in this setup? I guess we'll find out. Okay. Ready yet? I guess the thing that I find the most surprising playing this game is I didn't think I'd like the King Crab all that much, because I wasn't sure how much you could do with it. But this has to be one of my favorite builds.
Hangar doors open.
that we have here. It seems extremely effective. And it's also forced me to play
Reactor
differently,
online. Sensors
which I like.
Online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
We're on the hunt for a high-ranking member of Ranter's bandits.
All right, so the question is, do we think he's in the south or the north?
Shouldn't be far from your location. But be prepared for heavy
I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm going to look at the north first. It's possible the guy's in the south, but I'm going to go north and see what we get. Because I have a feeling like if you were to lay out this mission, most people would probably go south first. Because that's kind of like what's closer. So if that's the way that they intend this mission, although this might be entirely procedurally generated, so maybe we don't know that for sure, but... Also, this side of the map seems a little bit more open. We might be able to use our range.
Looks gross, smells gross.
Oop.
It's just gross.
Target destroyed.
There we go.
I'm showing nothing on
Good
scopes
shot.
that can be identified as our targets.
Also, my allies were pretty quick there with their...
Target destroyed.
What do we got?
Target acquired.
Scorpion light tank? Oh.
Incoming missile.
Now, this guy's got missiles. We should probably get up in his face so he can't just...
Tango down.
Alright, come here, you bastard.
Target acquired. Target
Watch out, that mech is going
Uh.
critical.
I feel like I was getting hit from the right. Alright, so clearly not here. Alright, so how do I want to approach this then? Hello.
target acquired. Target destroyed.
Alright.
Target acquired.
Enemy destroyed.
Target destroyed.
Okay. Alright, but we had a bunch of vehicles, so I'm trying to think of what I'm supposed to be doing here, like what I wanted to do next, and here I'm getting flooded with enemy vehicles.
I got it.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Got another one.
Alright. I guess we're just going to take the direct approach then.
Tango
You know
down.
what? Looking at this map, it looks like we can go up on this ridge and then go up this way. Flying target coming in behind us. Oh no, actually from the right?
Target acquired.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I don't know for sure if this is true. It might be a big drop off and we can't really do this. Okay, it's fine.
Target destroyed.
Alright. CAE target. Looks like an Atlas.
Target acquired. Incoming missile.
I got it.
Ow. Oh. That stuff just spawned in right before my eyes. Die already.
Target destroyed.
Acquired.
He's dead.
Target
Good kill, Commander. That mech is going critical.
All right, we need to get up there and help out our Banshee, I think.
Pan, component lost.
Well, you might want to stop charging forward then.
critical.
Droid is dead. Good work. Now
right, let's
extract
get outta
as
here.
soon as you can. I'm picking up heavy
Oh, behind us.
reinforcements en route. Now let's pack it in before their friends arrive.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so the Highlander took a lot of damage. Oh, it was the Highlander, not the Banshee, that took a lot of damage. So the Highlander probably lost its AC-20 again.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Ow.
Shared target identified.
Alright, let's just let those guys fight it out. Technically, I kind of want the Highlander to come with me, so we're going to go ahead and tell it to do so.
6, Commander.
What is the way I get to where I need to go? I guess up this ridge again? Yeah, we got a long way to walk. But I told the Highlander to come with me so it doesn't get killed. And hopefully the Banshee and the Awesome give the Highlander the ability to run away. Awesome's taking a little bit of damage, but I think it'll be okay. You don't have much longer to go. It looks like we saved our Highlander. I mean, that was rough, but I think it was, again, I feel like they balanced the game much better. The real question is, was that mission fun? And the answer is yes. Yes, it was fun. Compared to the way the game used to be, I think marked improvement. I'm tempted to pick up this Quality 4 LRM-10. Although a Quality 4 large laser would be nice too. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the LRM-10. Oh, well, we could get the large laser too. There's a lot of these high quality medium lasers though is what I'm tempted at. But you know what? I'm going to go with the large laser. We'll do those two. I feel like we get opportunities for this stuff, but not so much these things. So, yeah, we'll go with that. We did take a lot of damage, but again, I'm going to assume that was the Highlander losing an arm. And it lost the AC-20 yet again. That AC-20 just likes falling off, I guess. Thankfully, Captain Gann here did level up with missile systems. Yeah, okay. As far as performance goes, Banshee was a little underperforming, but it did okay. That is a score. And then the Awesome did okay. I mean, considering what its damage output is supposed to be, this is actually really good. And then we did really well. So, across the board, outside the Highlander losing its arm, that wasn't bad. Ah. Okay, let's see exactly what we lost in the Highlander. Yeah. Now, I can't just continue to lose AC-20s. That starts to become a problem. I don't know how many I actually have. One way to find out. In theory, I have 3 quality 4s, but I don't feel comfortable using these, especially on a mech that consistently loses its arm. We do have another quality 3, which is what we used before. I have a quality 2 burst fire, but like, yeah, I start to run out of the things after that. So we can't continuously lose autocannons like that. This starts to become a problem if that's what happens. But otherwise, it went pretty well. The Awesome did have an armor breach, but nothing really happened with that, which is good. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and read the next part here. We have finally located Ranta's bolt hole, a hidden base on one of the system's many moons. Our reconnaissance flights show that he has a heavy amount of muscle guarding him, but we're confident you're up to the task of taking him down once and for all. If you can corner him, beware, for he will fight like a demon to avoid death or capture. Okay. As far as like continuing on with this mission, I did take a fair amount of damage, so this is probably going to be a long repair. And we know we have to replace some things on the Highlander. So this might be a good time to go over the industrial zone, especially as this is not far away from this industrial zone over here. I don't really know how the lanes are going to go, but I assume it's just 1, 2, 3 potentially. Which I don't think is that bad. Yeah, I definitely think we come over here. We're starting to see threat level 14. I don't think I'm leveled up there yet. Yeah, we're getting there though. Once we finish this high reward contract, we'll definitely be leveled up. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump over here, because it just makes sense to do so. Yeah, so our quarterly bill is over $1 million now. So we can't really like waste a lot of time, because eating $1 million every quarter starts to hurt. Let's see if there's anything here right now. There's a Banshee, nothing else really. Let's see about equipment, because there should be some rare weapons in here. Oh, hello. I have not ever found one of these before, so that's good. We'll pick that up. It's expensive, but probably worth it. Energy weapons. Okay. Missile system. LRM-20 with Artemis system is tempting. Go ahead and buy it. I don't know if I'm ever going to use it, but hey, you never know. No double heat sinks. Do we have any good ammo types that we don't normally have an ability to buy? I mean, I guess the LB-10X, we could probably buy some of that. I already have a decent number of half ammo, so I think I'm just going to buy 2 tons worth. We do use these fairly frequently. It's probably the most common Lawstech weapon that we have. And we did just buy a quality 4 one. So that might get used on one of our mechs. Pretty much the LB-10X solid slug is just a normal autocannon, but it has the advantages of the LBX autocannons in that it's lighter. So there definitely is an advantage, but it works the same as a normal AC-10.
My combat skills are meant to impress, sir.
Okay, no pilots I think I want to pick up. Benton is decent, but we have better pilots. It's really just a call of whether we fire somebody for her, but we're probably not going to use her. But we do have pilots in the 40s, so yeah, you know. Do we finally fire Freeman? I mean, we don't use him. All right, it's your time. Goodbye.
My combat skills are meant to impress.
Yeah, and we'll
sir.
go ahead and pick up Fenton. What's her description? Captain Fenton was raised far from the most populous regions of Steiner space and hoped that by becoming a mercenary, she could get away from her backwater home. She spent more time in a cockpit than most people have been alive. While many of her counterparts may call her boring and predictable, her predictability, I'm going to assume this is meant to be her predictable nature, because that seems to flow a little bit better. Her predictable nature brings stability to her lance. Okay.
Ready for action. Nice dropship, but boring as hell.
I didn't check to make sure we didn't have a pilot that already looked like her, but I was pretty sure that that was the case. I mean, she looks kind of similar to Ledford, but you know, as far as the I don't know what you call the suit. I guess the suit's similar, but there's some differences. Also, the body of the person is different. But okay. So we already went through the market. Let's go ahead and do our repairs. This is just going to be a simple one. Thing here. Here. Now the edit. As a matter of fact, that autocannon here might make some sense. That being said, it would just fall off, as we've seen. I'm trying to think of how we could improve this mech. There's not really anything you can do with armor. It's pretty much armored as much as you can armor it. But you could change it into something like an autocannon, like an AC-10. That would drop weight by 2 tons. We could probably do with just 2 tons of ammo rather than 3. And in that case, we get 3 tons back. What I would do with those 3 tons, I have no idea. More heat sinks? I don't know if this mech runs all that hot. Potentially it does. I think we just stick with the AC-20. It's starting to hurt having to replace these all the time. All right. So that's something we might want to look for when we go shopping, is high quality autocannons. Okay. That's pretty much all our repair work. Cyclops remains unproven. We've already looked at the mechs that are here. Nothing really worth picking up right now. As far as our relationship, House Karita still doesn't really like me too much, although we are improving. We were at -5 at one point, so that's definitely improving. And we've been able to improve it without really hurting our relationship with anybody else, because all of the contracts for the Draconis Combine, they've been internal issues. We've been fighting bandits and insurgents and, you know, things that really don't have a faction themselves. So, well, I guess bandits have a faction, but not really hurting one of the houses, so that's good. Okay. So as far as things go, we're probably going to come down here and finish out this contract. I suspect this is the last of the bunch here. And then we're going to get some rewards. The main thing is we're going to be able to level up to the next threat level. And then I guess we just go over and do our campaign. It doesn't seem like there's any conflict zones in between then and here, so we are just going to have to jump over there. But, you know, we're close as we can get. There might be a conflict zone we can just not see, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, there's no reason not to finish this up. But I think we're going to save that for the next time.